All right, good morning, everybody. We are live and recording, and I am here today with the fabulous Sharian. So, Sharian, it's been
Hey,
such a long time since I talked to you. So, what's up?
everything's been going really well. It's good to be out here this morning, you know, just taking it easy.
Okay, all right. Same here. I really feel like I've been playing the whole month of July because it was July 4th. And then the next weekend, we did my family reunion weekend. And then I came back. But I really, when I'm off, it takes, like, when I come back, I'm like, why do I work? What's the point of me working? And then a bill come in. Oh, that's why I work. Okay, it's time to go back to work. So I really feel like I just got into a good work mode this week. And so I'm like, okay, time to go back to school, time to go back to work. Let's get for real. All right, so today we're gonna talk about what, Sharon? What do you want to talk about? What'd you say?
How social media can influence your relationship.
Ooh, oh, that's a good one. How social media can influence your relationship. Oh, okay. All right. So when you say that, I immediately think of all the people who are just like, my partner's always looking somebody else on social media, blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, but that person live in Taiwan. It's it's okay that they like somebody in Taiwan. So okay, what are you seeing? And when it comes in session, what are you seeing and what are you hearing and what do you want people to know?
Okay, so I think what I'm hearing is a lot of comparison to what podcasters may feel like a relationship is. A
Oh
lot of
yeah.
personal opinion of celebrities and you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes people get confused because they can relate, then they
Mm-hmm.
think that they should fix it the same way that they fixed it.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Yeah, and that's not always the case
Yeah.
because resources could be different, environment, climate, mentalities could be different. So even if you use a blueprint, your outcome might not look exactly like their outcome.
Yeah.
And we have to remember they're there for entertainment. They're there for likes. They're there
Mm-hmm.
for subscribers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like and I think this is the difference. And I always think this essentially about church as well as social media is they have to have a message for the masses. And so they're saying something that they hope applies to enough people to get them to come back and listen to them again with that. And the thing I love about therapy is we get to talk to the individual one at a time. And so one couple, I might say, uh, don't worry about y'all arguments. And another couple, I might say, we absolutely have to worry about you guys' arguments. Y'all don't know how to fight fair. Y'all hurt each other. Like, y'all are going for the jugular. And so I really like that about the therapeutic work that we can be so individualized. You know, one person I might need to say, you need to work more. Another person I might need to say, you need to work less. And so if everybody could remember that all of these social things, these people who are talking across their pulpit, whether it's social media pulpit or church pulpit, is it has to fit the masses. And you really need to tailor make it for your own self. All right, what else do you want people to know about? So stop comparing. That's what I want people to know. Stop comparing. Whether you comparing how much money you got to how much money they got, how many vacations you go on versus how many vacations they go on, what you're dealing with and how easy it looks that they dealing with it. And the same thing. And I just recently did the same thing. And I was just like, okay, we can't compare. But I was thinking about Gary V. So he's a very popular social media guru person. I just figured out we are the exact same age. And he was talking about buying the jet if he hadn't bought the jets already. And I'm talking about paying my July power bill. And so I
Right.
moment of my life because if this is multimillionaire getting ready to buy a football team, and I am looking at my July power bill like, wait, what? Like what? So but then I had to remember we live two very different lives. And comparison, what's the old saying? Comparison is a killer of joy. So stay in your own lane. do your own thing, start where you are and make your own life better and not try to keep, looking at other people's lives. And so, yeah. And people do that with relationships. I've done that with relationships, not just with social media, but with just other people. But you don't see me like she's like her boyfriend see him, like just all kind of craziness, as opposed to looking at my situation and just trying to make my situation like 1% better for me or for my partner. That's it. So, okay, what else are you seeing and hearing out there?
Well, I think this high value concept has just really played the minds of everyone,
It did.
right? Whether it was
Yeah.
relatable, not relatable, whether it was some truth
Mm-hmm.
to it or not some truth to it, it has
Mm-hmm.
just really played relationships to where it seems like men are turning on their wives,
Yeah.
wives are confused, wives are kind of sort of turning on their men because
Yeah.
then, everybody feels like they're high value. And that could be true, but we need to, make that a
Yeah.
relative thing, right?
We do. And y'all, I know y'all not gonna like when I say this, but I really feel like God was just like, you messing up too many relationships. I gotta get you out of here. Like I feel like that. I feel like
It
God
that
was
well,
like,
hey, I don't know. It still seems like it's going on and people starting to side eye their
it's something out
mates.
there on social
Nobody can
media.
be
It tends to
happy.
stay,
And
but
you're
it's
just
just
looking
not.
like, man, that guy really did his job. He influenced. That's what
Mm-hmm.
people need to realize.
Mm-hmm.
These are
Yeah.
influencers. And these are
Right.
people with just an opinion.
And this is the thing. It's that whole. It seems like, and I actually have never listened to his videos. I've just heard it, and it. What I don't like about it is it felt like it gave permission for people to be mean or not to work in cooperation. So case in point, me and my girlfriend are sitting outside. I feel like this happened last summer at a pizza place. And this guy just comes up and starts talking to us. Now I talk to anybody. It is absolutely hilarious to me. I love to talk to people. I talk to people all
Me
day
too.
and all night long. So he starts talking, and then he starts telling us that we are not high value. And we're like, and so it is hilarious to me because you came across the parking lot to come talk to me and then to tell me I'm not high value. So why are you talking to me at all? Why don't you just go to your car? And so I think it's just, as opposed to this spirit of being in community and everybody trying to be their best, and I'm going to help you and support you the best I can, and you're going to help me and support me the best I can. And if I think that there's an area where you're lacking, I'm going to lovingly support you until you're better, until you have a different understanding. And so that's what I didn't like about that high value at all. It just seemed to separate people as opposed to bring people together.
It just
It,
seems
it,
like
it
it
just
caused a
like,
war.
it did. It's like, you ain't good enough for me. Who, what? Like, how would anybody say that? And so when we like, that's just not the spirit that I want humanity to have, especially in the African American community, where I believe we have to work together like no other community. We have to work together. And so, yes, I support you, my brother, and yes, I support you, my sister. And what else? What else do I need to do to support you with that? If we are a match and we can do more of life together, then let's do it. But if we're not a match, then that's fine. And I'm wishing you the best. But I'm not downgrading you. You ain't good enough for me, essentially. And so, and having that understanding. So that's what hurt my heart about that the most. Okay. What else are you saying? I actually haven't seen it come into my practice in a while, that kind of whole high value concept, probably because I deal with a lot of couples that are already together. So when do you see it coming into practice?
In couples
In
that's
couples.
married.
Okay. And
Because
what are they saying?
I'm leveling
Because you
up.
already
They're
married
not.
now. Like, what
Yeah,
you
well,
complaining? You already married.
reaching the
Yeah.
heights, they're not, or it just has influence. A lot of my clients talk about a filter. So it just seems like it has created a filter for them to see through. So now they see their mate, their husband, their wife, or, in a different perspective now. And so now it's almost like they reevaluating their relationship based off this information. and it's not really enhancing the relationship. It's
Hey,
almost created a shift, but it's a shift that's causing a lot of unhealthiness and arguments. And a shift in
yeah.
mentality is great,
So is it
but
the shift of like you're not good enough for me anymore, or I don't
yeah,
have to
we're
do
not doing
any?
enough. We don't have enough. You're
Yeah,
not doing what a
yeah,
woman should do. You're not doing what a man should do. So it sort of plagued their perception of their relationship. And it's almost cheated them out the
yeah,
quality of a relationship and just
yeah,
the mere being able just to enjoy who they're with based off where they both are now.
yeah. And this is the thing, and I feel like I say this every day. People don't automatically wake up one morning knowing how to be your wife, knowing how to be your husband. It's something that you learn over time. And so you develop into the perfect wife for this man, the perfect husband for this woman, because what works with one may not work with the other. And you married now. And so now it's us together. And so I would love it to be more of the concept of we in it together. Like we're gonna figure this out together. Like the two have become one, kind of in the old kind of Christian mentality. Like, and so I'm not gonna say anything about you because I would be saying it about me. And if there's an area in our relationship where I want us to be better, then I'm gonna say, hey, how can we get better in this area of the relationship? Making sure that there's shared goals, shared values, that we're both supporting each other. And this whole it's me and not you. Um, it's I don't like it. I don't think it's helpful for a relationship. So it's really got to be us. And let's go back to the point where that's just good leadership. you know, but like that's just with leadership. You don't want a leader who's going, y'all need to be working for me, and if y'all ain't working for me, blah blah blah. You want the leader that's going to be like, hey, we're in this together. When you succeed, I succeed. And I really think that's true in a marriage. If you're doing well, I'm doing well. If you down, I'm down, and like we're together. So how can we get the people to change? One couple at a time, one session at a time.
Well, like you said, if you have shared values and shared meaning in the
Mhm,
relationship, that's a start.
mhm.
And really understanding what a shared value is and what a shared meaning is and how to harmonize your relationship. So it's
Mhm.
almost being able to take the differences and harmonize it. So you can have
Yeah,
shared values, but different ways and different thoughts of how to reach those goals or express those values.
yeah.
So it's understanding, like if I value family,
Mm-hmm.
okay, somebody might think a value as family is making sure they have a hot meal and eat healthy every day. And other people may value family by being able to go out and do things with them and make sure that they understand their not their extended family. So how do you
Mm-hmm.
and one person may be totally like, I don't really want to go nowhere and I don't really want to be around extended family, but
Mm-hmm.
it's differences and making them work in harmony. So how do you harmonize it and make it work for your relationship? But that goes back to understanding what your shared values are
Yeah,
and meaning making. My
yeah.
meaning of family? What's really my meaning of partnership? What's really my meaning of relationship? Like
Yeah.
really being able to that's like a deeper conversation. So sometimes it don't work on the surface, like, yeah, I just want to love you. And some
Right.
people figure that partnership is to develop and to combine finances and to
Mm-hmm.
have more. And that's why I want a partner. Like it takes more than love. Like I really don't, love
Mm-hmm.
is not a priority. While it may be marry you or stay with you, that's still just
Wait, say that again. You broke out for a minute.
I said love may not be a priority for a person. While it may be something that they cherish and like, love is what got me to stay with you, but that's just not, number one on my list. Number one on my might be what can we build together and what can we do
Mm-hmm.
together?
Yeah.
And the love is gonna come. You know how people say, hey, love just ain't enough.
Hey, hey, love is not enough. And we know that. I know that because I've had couples come into session and say, I love them, but I can't stay in this marriage. or I love them, but I can't do this relationship like we doing it for whatever reason. And so I think, we as therapists know love is not enough. And I want more people, especially the younger you are, to know that love is not enough, and that love is going to ebb and flow. Like it's going to grow and then sometimes not. And in a marriage or long-term committed relationship, you may have a good 2, 3, 4, 5 years in there where you didn't like your partner, but you loved them. Where it wasn't working well, but you decided to stay because the basics were there to make it better in the future. And we all change, and so people should know that. And that kind of in lust feeling really doesn't last any more than 2 years. Most people 6 to 18 months. And then it's like the mask off. I'm dealing with the real you. You're dealing with the real me. But up to 2 years. And so I don't like when other couples are like, oh, well, I want it to be like it was in the beginning. It's not going to be like it was in the beginning. You grown. I'm going to need you to understand a relationship is so much more than that. Well, I'm not getting my need met in this area. Okay, but you're getting your need met in the other 9 areas. So let's work on the 10th area because we got the other 9 in place. And then also know it's kind of like a house. Like in a house, it's like you get something together and then something else breaks down. Right? You finally got the new washing machine and dryer. Now the refrigerator is on the fridge. And I think some marriages are like that too. We finally got communication together, but then you start a new job and now the sex is off. Okay. Now we got the sex back together, and now we got to get this parenting thing because our kids just went into teenage years, and it's a whole new ball game. And so I want people to know, because it feels like when we're in session that people had no idea that they were going to be signing up to do work in the relationship. Does it feel like that to you? Because I'm looking at them
Yes.
like, but isn't that like the common knowledge that a marriage is work? Like, I feel like I've heard that all my life. But apparently our clients have never heard like marriage is work, or they don't understand what the work is.
And they don't understand what progress is. So,
okay. Yeah.
Why we still arguing? Because y'all 2 human beings with a different opinion and different emotions.
Yeah.
But how are you? That's how you measure your progress. Are you still cussing each other out?
Yeah.
So we're not cussing each other. Yeah, you're right, Sharon. Yeah. He not leaving no more. I'm not leaving no more.
Right. Like,
okay, I see what you mean.
I was so proud of one of my couples yesterday, and they graduated out of therapy. And basically where their arguments used to like linger and hold on for 2 weeks, they down to being back together in less than 24 hours. I was like, oh my God, for real? Like, I was so proud of you guys. And that's huge progress. Because I remember thinking, like, what relation feels good if I ain't talking to you 2 out of the 4 weeks of the month? Like, they can't feel good. And so being able to like get their emotions back reined in and understand, okay,
the
what
recovery.
we're talking about? Why did it upset me so much that I'm acting crazy, that I can't recover when I know this person loves me and I know this person's here trying to do this thing with me? And so why keep it going on for 2 weeks? And so now they're down to 24 hours. And that's excellent progress. It's excellent progress because as a couple, you are always going to have problems. I think, and Sharon, did you do the Gottman work? Do you remember the Gottman percentage? I think you said 60 to 70% of problems in a marriage.
Perpetual or solvable.
Perpetual problems, meaning they'll never be solved. Like, you always gonna be messy and I'm always gonna be neat. You always gonna want to spend, I'm always gonna want to save, and that's just who we are. And so it's about making agreements that we can both live with. Okay. So that means you can keep your side of the room as messy as you want, but I need my side of the room clean. And you don't want to save anything. I want to save 20%. We're going to meet in the middle and save 10% consistently. I ain't 100% happy, but you ain't 100% happy. But this is a compromise. This is marriage. And if we start making more, then we'll save a little bit more. Or, these are our goals. These are what we're trying to do. Okay. What else?
So we're talking about how to recover from social media. And we just thinking about some of the things that you can do and how this whole thing falls out and what the therapy
Mhm.
process will look like when
Yeah.
you're trying to, not compare yourself or live by the rules of social media in your relationship.
Yeah.
And so, that's just really important. I just say to people, just really have the marriage that you want to have and don't let it be influenced
Yeah.
by, it's the same concept. Like if you letting it be
Right.
influenced by the media or movies or sitcoms,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same concept with social media. Like, I always ask people, so tell me, who do you know in your life that you interact with that's doing that?
Yeah. Actual real people that you could
Right.
literally
I
call on the
need you to
phone today.
measure this properly, right?
Yeah.
Tell me who you
Mm-hmm.
know that's really doing it. And then
Right.
maybe I'll be like, okay, I see why you're experiencing this distress.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I'm not really understanding why how did that even just become such a phenomenon that people are really, really, really becoming depressed,
Mm-hmm.
anxious, breaking up over influencers,
Right. Yeah. You're
social
right.
media
Yeah.
influencers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what would you say? So if you had a couple in front of you and something had it happened to do to an influencer, what would you say first? Can you give them 3 steps that they can take away from this essentially podcast blog that we're doing? 3 steps to immediately start making their relationship better.
Okay, 3 steps to start making the relationship immediately better would be, what is it about that you want in your life anyway?
Okay.
If it's obtainable, fine, right? That's
Right.
fine. But you have to understand you're not going to wake up tomorrow and be there.
Right.
2, why would you let it plague your marriage
Yeah.
or your relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did you look at this and then you start to feel resentment?
Yeah.
We're going to just deal with secondary emotions, anger and bitterness,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
what did this thing do to you and what type of meaning maker did it make in your life? So
Yeah.
it's almost beneath the surface. Like, how did you even let this interrupt your relationship in the first place?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you even get here? Like, how could you just not like, that seems cool. One day I want to buy a jet too. And that's it. But you completely letting it play your mind and your
Right.
relationship.
Right.
Like, we all have things that look good, right? And
Yeah.
we just kind of like the way it look and think, hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's good that they're able to go, to set
Mm-hmm.
every day and Neiman Marcus every day. That's nice, but you don't actually let it cause you anxiety, depression, distress, and
Yeah.
ruin your relationship. So
Yeah.
then to me, and I'm gonna say that goes to other things,
Mm-hmm.
that's an individual thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say figuring out why, if
Yep.
it's obtainable, set your goals,
Yep.
right? Don't let it create your story,
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
a
So
good one.
don't let it really dictate your narrative.
Yeah.
So you can still like these things, think
Yeah.
it's entertaining, but understand you have a story that you can write yourself. And it doesn't have to be, somebody else's story, because what you're really trying to do from a narrative perspective is live out another person's story.
Yeah. Oh, so good. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah. And I would just, if y'all can remember, you don't know what that person is dealing with behind closed doors.
Mm-mm.
You just don't. And so I've had pastors in my office, um, and their marriages was tore up. And they look perfect at church and perfect in everything. And they in my office and their marriages are tore up. When I think about, I don't think I've had any celebrities yet, but definitely some musicians, because Atlanta is such a music town now. And seeing the things that they're struggling with, like you just don't know. And in the therapy world, among therapists, one of my mentors used to tell me, he was like, the more perfect a couple looks, the more toe up they are. So like, you ever got Ken and Barbie sitting in your lobby, you need to know you in for a hot mess. And so I would say that. And the other thing, which is kind of the same thing, is you don't know what they went through to get that. You don't know what they went through to get that at all. And so please be cognizant of that, you know? And so let's say something like a person on social media having 100 pair of Nikes. And that's the, they sneakerhead and 100 pair of Nikes and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but the reason why they love shoes like that is because they didn't have shoes when they were growing up and all their shoes had holes in them. And so now they're determined to never have a pair of shoes that have holes in them again. And so it's a vigilant thing. And it's such a vigilant thing that they waste all of their budget and they're in debt over shoes. And so be careful what you're asking for when you look at, well, I wish I had a closet like them. You don't know what that person has gone through to be the person that they are. Well, I wish I had motivation like them. Well, do you know that motivation is based on them getting beat up behind the school 5 times? But you don't know. And so take your life, try to make your life 1% better at a time. That's it, 1% better at a time. All right. Any last words, Sharon, for the people? Stop paying attention to social media, period.
Leave it alone. The last point I made. You have a story of your own.
Yeah.
You cannot live out another
entertainment purposes only. It's for entertainment purposes only. So be entertained and then get on and get to your real world. So, all right. Everybody have a great and wonderful day. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation and can take something from it to apply to your own life. Because we want you happy and content. What's that? Comparison is the killer of joy. And so we want you joyful. All right. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great day. Bye, Sherry.